earth for more than being just a cog in a machine.
One of the deepest questions any of us can ask ourselves is, who am I?
I want to do everything.
How do you make music?
Do I learn how to cook?
How do you really learn art?
Business ideas.
Music theory.
What if you get it wrong?
If you want to write, or you want to be a writer.
Are you scrolling social media?
Technology, smartphones in particular.
Feeling depressed.
Might feel stupid.
I feel so behind him. I wish I were.
How that makes you feel
Human connection.
to being a writer. And that might
Just trying to survive on the bare minimum. Am I too old?
When are you going to start this? When are you going to start that?
false news.
People half their age that are already accomplished artists.
Impressing others is what really matters in life.
Already in debt, living paycheck to paycheck.
Struggle and burnout.
You are not the only
All
one.
across the country. It seems overwhelming, but you can do it.
It's a fight for the soul. It's a fight for the soul. It's a fight for the soul.
All right. I just got back from a 10-day meditation retreat where we learned a technique called Vipassana. It's a meditation technique. It doesn't have to do with any religion, not just the meditation techniques, but just a deeper understanding of the laws of nature and how to live life more intentionally. And you know, I'm big on intentional living, building this house, and yeah, make my life a medley of intentionality. So we have a special guest today sitting right here, came all the way from the other house, my mom. Yeah, we wanted to get together, share our experience with it. During this, I don't want to unpack too much because if you decide you want to go to a meditation, you know, we don't want to make our views twist anything. Yeah, let's get right into it. It was in Jessup, Georgia, a great place. It's all donation based. Men and women are separated, so you're not able to come in contact, you're not able to talk, you aren't able to gesture either. You don't have writing materials, no journals, you don't have books, you don't have any entertainment, you don't have your phone, you don't have news, any of that, nothing to distract your mind. And so it feels very pure. We meditated for almost 10 hours a day. It wasn't just sitting and meditating straight the 10 hours, it was an hour and then you take little breaks here and there. And it's about being objective and not having aversion or craving. So seeing things happen, experiences, feelings, and trying to remain what they call equanimous, and that's, you know, equal. Okay, what was your experience like first getting there, first day?
Okay, first getting there, I was excited about the whole program and trying to figure out how I was going to be still and silent for that many days, all the things that I had going on back on the farm. So yeah, I was just kind of a little anxious. I loved the simplicity of it. You had everything that you basically needed.
First day for me, unpacking, seeing people, dropping off our phones. I was a little weary. I didn't know what to expect. I was thinking that it was gonna be like this fun retreat where you go and everybody's silent and you're still able to interact, but it was a lot more focused. It was more determination driven. It was just fresh, it was new. When I first got there, I got a lot of rest. Coming out of life and having so much going on all the time, it really gave me a space to just kind of like, the programming is perfect for that because the first few days, you're learning some easier techniques, you know, techniques that are easier to digest.
The first day I slept very well. sleep was good. We went to sleep early.
Difficulties. Is there any point when you wanted to leave?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just trying to figure out how I was going to make it through having to be still. And in the end, I definitely knew how it was working. And I knew that all of it was, the whole thing was intentional as far as how the steps that you need to take.
And the way they tie the techniques together.
Yeah, but I knew I wasn't gonna leave. But I know, I was just like, how am I gonna do this? The food that they had there and the choices, I was able to choose the ideal food for my lifestyle. So that was really rewarding. I liked the way it made my body feel, not eating after a certain time. And if I did eat, it was fruit. The choices were really good food, good quality food.
Yeah, good food. They had so many options. I'm thinking like monks, nuns, like monastery, rices and grains and stuff. But
we don't want to give away too much what they had for the food, because we want you to go in there and be like,
oh, true.
Shoot.
So yeah, they just had really good food.
Yeah.
What did we do? So I spent a lot of time walking. I slept a lot at first. During the course, you're learning so many valuable life lessons. Like, I've had philosophical questions that I've wanted answers to my whole life. A lot of them were being answered. I would have a question about something. The next day, the teacher would answer that question. And giving all these great examples, he's a great speaker, Goenka. And so it was cool to just let things lie and let them come to you as you just put out the energy that you needed. And so he's answering these questions. I'm like, I have to remember this stuff. How do I remember this stuff? So the first few days, I didn't really do this. But towards the middle of the retreat, I started finding things out in nature to remember different parts and pieces. And I made little altars all over my room. I don't know if I was supposed to do that. That might have been a distraction, but I did it.
First few days I rested, thought, walked around, ended up brushing my teeth a lot of times. And
you just said brush your teeth when you got bored?
Sometimes I would brush my teeth, pick up little stuff off the floor, or little lint, my hair, just keep everything
clipping the
nice
carpet hairs.
Put oil on myself a few times. I just was doing stuff. Then after about, I don't know, midway through, I started taking walks after lunch, and then there was a bench I'd sit on, and so I did some sun gazing. I was wondering, like, what do I do with myself? That's when I started going out sun gazing, walking, and just had to be with myself. So I thought about talking to different people about hard subjects without feeling like I'm offending them, because I have good intentions and I'm a giving person. So just being able to express and tell people, so just spent time thinking, a lot of thinking.
The perceptions, being silent like that. When somebody opens a door for you, there's no gesturing. So when you're at breakfast, you can't point to what you need or excuse me. So when you walk through a door, if somebody opens the door for you, you just walk in. And at first it's like, oh, I feel so bad not saying like thank you and looking at the person. But after a while, everybody gets to an understanding.
The flow of energy is there. That puts
Yeah.
a flow of energy there because you know that they're grateful that you're opening the door. And I noticed that people were doing it more. And then at one point, I'm trying to figure out or think that one person's thinking this about what I'm doing. Because I have a habit of walking hard and fast. When it was time to go to lunch, as I'm walking, I always pass people. I used to run track. And I'm feeling like they're sitting there thinking like, oh, she's trying to race me to the food or something like that. Then I started thinking, oh, people I was passing think that I think I'm better than them because I can walk faster. And it wasn't like that.
And then that perception of you thinking that makes you act differently. And
Yeah,
so
it does.
It shows you how much you act based on what you think that others think about you.
Right, because when I finally talked to the girl and I kind of brought it up, she hadn't even thought about it. And I was like, oh.
One guy, he watches Dragon Ball Z and he gave everybody in the camp characters from the show. So he's like, oh, that's Krillin, oh, that's Piccolo, that's Vegeta. He gave me Broly. It was cool to see everybody's different perceptions. Making assumptions and deductions about people, we do this every day. And it's not a bad thing. As humans, we judge to get a better understanding. We do it instinctually. It's a good thing that we do those slight base level deductions about people, but in our day-to-day life that runs rampant and it gets out of hand and we make a whole character of somebody in our mind, and then as we get to know them, we don't let them get out of the character that we created for them. We're like, oh, I already saw them as a mean person, so it doesn't matter what they say to me, they're that mean person that I imagined.
And then, but then the whole time you gotta bring it back in because you're not there to think about other people, you're there to yourself.
During the meditation with the actual technique, it's not just breathing, it's feeling sensations, it's about sensations. And we react. When people make us angry, we just react. The thing happens and then we react to it. And so having that little space between your reaction and the thing happening, that's where you think. In our day-to-day lives, we have like monkey mind and we swing from thing to thing, craving, oh, I want this, okay, now I don't want this, I want that. And we run from our phone to our this, to our tablet, and we're always running around, not actually sitting and going, what do I actually want, and turning inside. When you're not able to take pictures of things, you're not able to write things down, you actually have to use your brain to remember them. And so if you remember the experience way more vividly. A lot of people are like, was the meditation life-changing? Was it life-changing? I don't feel comfortable saying that they're life-changing because my life is already in this path. I can say they weren't life-changing, they're affirming. In my day-to-day, I question, am I on the right path? Am I this and that? And then when these big moments happen, they don't change my life. Oh, I am on the right path. I'm in the right space. Like, yes, this is what I want more of. This is why I'm doing what I want to do. So, when you get to it, you can finally speak to people and ask them questions and what do you do? Where are you from? To see who they are. It was so exciting. Like, at first it was kind of weird, like having my voice, having somebody give me my voice back. As you open up, mind you, we're in Jessup, Georgia. You start asking, where are you from? New York, New Mexico,
Savannah,
LA, Chicago,
Massachusetts. Oh, somebody was from Minnesota.
Indiana, Florida, Louisiana. Oh, there was someone from India. So yeah, people from all over, and you start to learn all these professions. There was a therapist there. A lot of people did Bitcoin. There was a teacher, singers and songwriters, athletes. It was just like, you wouldn't realize how many different people from different places all came to this one place.
And then how similar some of the experiences are.
That's a good point. The meal you have after you're able to talk, the people who were similar just found each other and they all were having conversations.
I heard about doulas, meeting doulas, and the energy was just excitement. And,
yeah, it was exciting.
We happened to go during Black Heritage, just being around like-minded people who identify with what you identify with. It was an experience. It was an experience to see so many people interested in and really focusing on being full of love and compassion and doing good for others and being excited about it and just wanting to help each other. That was like a rewarding experience.
We were sitting and talking for a while and I heard a conversation and one of the girls was like, she was talking about being able to be Black and have an experience like this and be surrounded by other people. She felt supported because she's usually a Black girl, you know, with a bunch of different ethnicities. She doesn't get to do the things that a Black girl gets to do. And so she was like, I'm going to the meditation hall and I see you. She's talking to another girl. She's like, I see you and your bonnet. And I'm like, yeah, okay. She was like, I was thinking I couldn't wear my bonnet just to see another Black queen wearing a bonnet. She was like, I'm gonna throw on my bonnet. It was just cool to see that, you know, she had support and the stories that Goenka, the teacher, he taught, the examples. One dude said he wanted to leave like 5th day. The person he rode with 2 girls on the other side. He was like, they drove me. So he's like, I can't really leave. And after they were able to talk, he found out that around the 5th day, she wanted to leave too, but they couldn't talk to each other to coordinate being able to leave. So it's just funny that they're both sitting in this meditation hall this close to each other. And because they're not able to talk, they gotta power through it. Just the determination, being around so many people so determined to go through it was very inspiring.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
You always have to get your thoughts out of your mouth. Right. Not having to formulate everything felt good.
You get some clarity on how to go about expressing. Mm-hmm. And since I've been back, it's just coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, since being back, I feel just grounded in myself. I feel like I'm just able to speak to people however I need to speak to them. Without being like, oh, what if they this or what if and I'm just able to, hey, I need to talk to you about something. We're taking a little intermission. My mom had to run and do something. But before I left, a friend of mine who's a chef, she asked what I wanted my first meal to be being back. I mulled it over in my mind and tried to figure out what I wanted. Oh yeah, this. First day back, sprained my ankle. So I think I got a little too excited. Anyway, I decided a beautiful pumpkin pie. She made me 2 pumpkin pies. If you're watching this, China, thank you. This is pure love, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Yes. Ooh. Sadu. Yeah, this is actually my first meal today. I haven't eaten anything. Let me try the other pie. You believe I sprained my ankle first day back? What? How wild is life? And I had all these ideas for what I wanted to do when I got back. I went to the retreat and I wanted to let some things go. Towards the end, I was like, this is how I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take it day by day. I'm gonna be very thoughtful and not take on too much. Day 1 being back, sprained my ankle. So now I really can't just jump into everything. So now it's really showing me you need to sit down. And actually when I got back, I wanted to journal anyway. So, perfect. Ah, both pies, fantastic. You want a pie? We're back. Welcome back. The brief intermission is over. Did you have any strong emotions come up? And did they manifest, crying or anger, or did you get agitated?
I did have strong emotions come up about stuff in the past. Going to the beginning of it, and it was just like it was clarifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your past comes up a lot. Like, I thought about my childhood best friend and when we first met, and how there used to be a big pine tree in front of his house. But think about those little things that your mind just is able to grab onto when you don't have all these other thoughts flooding in all the time. A lot of the men cried. Men were like, which day did you cry? Which day did you cry? And what did you cry for? And then some men were like, I didn't cry at all. And they were like, am I broken? One dude said he cried in the meditation, like he was the meditation hall. He had his eyes closed, he was meditating, and then he just realized that his face was just wet. And he was like, whoa, bawling mid-meditation. It was cool to hear everybody's experience. I actually cried on the 8th day. He gave a talk the night before about the art of living and the art of dying. And I've thought about this actually since I was a kid. I woke up on the 8th day morning and I thought about you and I thought about you dying. And just because people don't think about it. You don't think about your parents dying or your children dying or but everybody's...
I do. I used to
yeah.
know that, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, most people don't think about, because death is this thing you're not supposed to think about or talk about.
I thought about if something happened to me, how would you feel?
In the middle of meditation?
Yeah, how would you feel? What if something happened to them? Would they come over here and tell me? Or
would they let you know?
Yeah, and it was just weird, like different thoughts that came up that, even with my other children, it was like, how would I feel, or how would they feel if something happened to me?
I thought of you making your facial expressions, and I thought of you making a facial expression for the last time. And I really visualized like being there and seeing you. Get a little feathered up right now. And then I thought about the songs I've written, and I thought about Zephyr. I thought about that song. I thought about how there'll come a day when you'll pass away. It's all love and compassion. There will come a day when I sing that song on a stage somewhere. And I sing that song on a stage somewhere, and the lyrics are gonna completely change. The song is about loss, and it's gonna be who have you lost, and your voice will come up on the song.
Stop it.
No, just let me get through it. Okay. I'll think like, damn.
Stop it.
It's okay. We can cry. This is okay. It gave me a deeper connection, because then I realized that this person's gonna pass on, and this song that I've written is a testimony to you losing someone. It's a testimony to all the people who have lost people, and it's just gonna shift. I'm gonna sing it one day, and it's gonna mean that much more to me.
Right.
So when someone says my mother, now the song means that for me.
But I plan to live to 150.
Yeah,
so
she's
by
going
that
150.
Yeah. By that time you'll be what? 90 years. You gotta be like, you're 38 years young. So I'm 150. 120.
120.
So
see, so we'll remake this video when we get there and just
say, yep, it didn't happen yet. I ended up calling all my children and saying something that I had thoughts about telling them while I was there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Thinking about family, like I thought about exes, I thought about all of my relationships.
I'm just joking. Okay.
You think about all the people you want to be full of love, full of compassion.
I got insight as to, oh, well, I can tell them this and maybe this will make a change for whatever they were going through, whatever they're going through.
And then dreams. The dreams part, at least my dreams, became completely lucid. Yeah, I dreamt of friends, I had memories, I had dreams of memories.
I didn't dream at all.
At all?
I didn't really dream. I would just wake up with my heart beating and I'd start, I'd be thinking about things.
I love the way that he talked about how when you're in a religion, the person you pray to, you want to be more like that. And so taking on those qualities and actually applying them in your life rather than just praying to the person. You don't honor the person by praying to them. You honor the person by seeing the qualities you like in them, loving them, and wanting to internalize them. And like, how can I be more like that? Like, that's how you really honor somebody. Yeah, experiencing it rather than intellectualizing it.
The one thing that I'm realizing, the fact that I'm able to sit here. Normally when I'm in front of a camera or in front of people, I feel I'm just able to just express myself and get it out without feeling what I normally feel and stumbling over my words and not knowing what to say. This feels great. It's somewhere that a lot of people should experience, and it's a technique in a sense, but it's really a way of knowing yourself and getting in tune with your senses, your sensations, and how to navigate through your emotions and being full of love, compassionate, goodwill to others, giving to others is an important aspect, and you'll start feeling it. And I know that I do that anyway, but this really, it just really nailed it in. It was just something that I'm going to utilize. It's something I'm going to be. It was definitely an experience going with my son, and then I want like my other children, my husband, to experience it. Yeah, so I want to thank you for choosing or deciding to go at the last minute. Okay.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the decision to choose at the last minute. I love you.
Love you too.
Thank you all for watching. If you think about doing Vipassana, there's a bunch of different centers all over the US, all over the world. Yeah, I'll add a link somewhere and you can just go there and check it out. If you did the meditation, thank you so much for watching. That was an amazing experience. Down in the comments, add your experience. Say hey and share this, because this is something that should be shared.